In this video from Demystifying Proposals, we talk about how to make your past performance volumes compliant. Sometimes the past performance is its own volume, and sometimes it's just part of the technical volume. When you put in your past performance citations, make sure that the project name is exactly the same as that on the CPARs and the contracts documents. Often you have an internal shorthand for what you call a project, and that may be what the authors use. But when the proposal is built, you want to make sure that you use exactly the same language as the government will be expecting to see. So use the same project name as they use on their evaluations, like the CPARs, because the government has the right, and often will, look up the CPARs and look up the FPDS information. And if your past performance citation doesn't match, they may ding you. So if you want to use a shorthand because the full name is long, then treat it like an acronym and define the first name on first use, and then define the shorthand in parentheses after the full contract name. And then you can use the shorthand from there. Also, make sure that the contract number is correct. Even if they didn't ask for it, if the contract is a task order under an IDIQ or a GWAC, then include that as part of the contract number. So you would have two numbers. The first number would be whatever the IDIQ is or whatever the GWAC is. And then usually we use a slash and you put in the contract number for the particular project after that. Also, make sure the contract value is correct. Again, remember that the technical evaluation panel, the evaluators, the TEP, has access to FPDS. They can, and sometimes do, confirm that the values match. These are not really compliance issues, but they will irritate the TEP if they're wrong. A few other notes on past performance citations. You want to make sure that you make the past performance citations consistent amongst themselves. So you can either use the full contract value, $1,234,456, or you can use 1.2 million, or you can use 1 million, but be consistent in each of your citations. If it's important that the value be of a certain size, then think about that when you contract the value, because that may not show the information that you need in order to be compliant. Same thing for phone numbers, whether you use the area code with a dash or the area code with parentheses, doesn't really make any difference, but make them consistent. This is just sort of to make things look clean and to make them look nice. It's not a compliance issue, it's just a good practice. Same thing for dates, right? So you can do 5/5/2005, or you can do 5/5/05, or you can do 05/05/2005. Doesn't make any difference, just make them consistent. Same for city and state, same for people's names. So Mr. Johnson or Andrew Johnson or Mr. Andrew Johnson. Generally, I just use the first name and the last name, except for military ranks. Then it's very important that you use the appropriate military rank, spelled correctly or abbreviated correctly, particularly if you're proposing to the Department of Defense or the Department of Homeland Security. I hope you enjoyed this video from Demystifying Proposals. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or you think there's additional information that needs to be added, and we will consider updates as appropriate. Thank you for your time.